Welcome to Real McCoy TV, where faith intertwines with daily life, empowering us to inspire positive change. Our mission is not just to share our story, but to uplift our community and celebrate authentic tales of faith and family. Journey with us and witness Cleveland's vibrant sports scene alongside heartwarming church events and cherished family moments, all showcasing our shared values. New content graces your screens every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday evenings, making it easy to engage with us on this enlightening adventure. We invite you to be part of the Real McCoy experience. Whether you wish to call in, join discussions, or collaborate, your voice matters. Plus, support our mission through Cash App, GoFundMe, or Patreon. Together, we create a thriving community of faith and support where every contribution counts.
Yeah. Look, y'all. Not going to be a long video. Just want to tap into the Browns and what's been going on. Got some news from yesterday. Got to hear from the players, the coaches about the strategy with the defense. Myles Garrett is gone. We got a lot of questions. We got a lot of playmakers, but we got to see what it looked like without Myles Garrett. Expecting some dip off, but I guess, of course, the room is not supposed to be sounding scared or sounding like they don't know what's going on or if they ain't going to be good without Myles Garrett. So we're going to play some of this from the Cleveland Browns YouTube page. And they got Verse up here. And he's talking. They got the coaches. They're going to say some stuff. Let's speed this up a little bit so we can save some time. I actually went on about 1.35. There we go. All right, here we go.
Then I looked up Alex, right? I saw Alex. I was like, this is going to be a lot of fun. It is the best podcast available. Defensive side of football minicamp wraps events. Another edition. Welcome. Thanks for watching and liking and listening and subscribing and sharing and all those things. I always forget to say that today. I should throw in like those and that are really Dave and I are professionals at that. Yeah. We do it every day. Yeah. So you should do it fine. Like if I don't do it, you should. Okay. Fine. You're fine. There you go. You're fine. It's good to see you, man. Minicamp's over. We're wrapping this up. Just wrapped up for the end of minicamp. It is now 5 weeks off. School is officially out. And I think within the next 45 minutes, there will not be a soul on the football floor. Did you see them run off? Oh, they ran off. Yeah. Drive safe. Be careful. A lot of responsible. Please be responsible. And that was part of Todd Monken's message here as he broke down his team at the end of the minicamp. Really key message. Number one, be smart and safe. Number two, when we get back, we're about winning. We're about winning right now, and we're about winning when we get back. Winning. And winning. He was asked, Monkey was going to go wrap up. And still not any quarterback, by the way, nothing has changed from the last month on Tuesday. Fighting through a cold and then really a lack of voice after the end of the game. And I love this group. Josh there, Browns defensive line coach, Jared Verse then will join us as well. See, that's a good team by you. There you go. Good job. Listening. There you go. Jock also expressed what Todd Monken expressed. Like, I think that we have a break. Because really, this group has come together, and now you try to, find that momentum again when we come back again. Well, Coach said it best earlier in the week. He said, "This sucks." Yeah. He goes, "You get them all back in the building, you start to get into a rhythm."
They're gone for 5 or 6 weeks, and he's right.
Well, I mean, that's what there's a CBA for a reason, and there's a break for a reason.
That's right.
And it should be noted that break is not just for the players. Really, the entire NFL shuts down starting the week after mandatory minicamp around the league, and then the players don't come back until the 3rd week of July. The teams that are in the Hall of Fame game come back a little bit earlier, but pretty much you can't get a phone answered in any building in the NFL for a month. And that's a good thing. People need a break.
Yes, we need a break.
Everybody needs a break.
The G-Man needs a break.
Yes.
The G-Man's like, we've been producing this, I don't know, I think we have like 25 episodes in the can.
G-Unit needs a break.
Yeah, exactly. We all need a breather. And it's a good breather. It's a good chance to recharge the batteries, because once you come back, it is game on. It's what I do like the first day of training camp. I kiss my wife goodbye. I say, I will see you when the season ends. When that is, I don't really know. But when the season ends, I'll be back and you'll get your husband back. And thank God she's accommodating.
Remember, football is family. The NFL brings families together.
Boy, do we.
Yes. I kid.
Yeah, shout out to the wives out there that see the grind, unwavering support. Don't think they don't go through nothing, but it's a lot of strength in supporting your man in this era, man.
Because I don't care. No, I do. Anyway, let's move on to the defense here. Because the previous episode, we focused a little bit on the offense. Let's focus more so on the defense. It's going to be a different defense without Myles Garrett. Let's just, that's the elephant in the room. Clearly, we know that. Jared Verse is not going to fill his shoes, but he's a darn good football player. And just talking to people off the air, people's faces light up at the cross-country mortgage campus when they talk about Jared Verse. Not only Jared Verse, the football player, but, how accommodating he has been with every department in this building. He has been a leader both on the field, and he certainly has been a culture builder off the field, which is key. The defensive line is still very much going to be the engine, and that's why we want Jacques Césaire on this episode here, that drives this team. There's a lot of talent on this defensive line, but guys like Alex Wright and Isaiah McGuire, specifically on the opposite end, now is their chance to turn their game over, right? Yeah. That is certainly on them. Defensive tackle, there's a lot of promise, and you keep fingers crossed that you get a little more help when we get to training camp. Mike Hall was out here. Mason Graham is in a boot. He should be okay, and Malik Collins is working his way back from the quad.
Yeah, I think getting Malik Collins back will be a huge addition for this defense, so that we didn't see here in the offseason. But last year, I think you can argue he was one of the foremost important people to the success of that defense.
Absolutely. Look at the sack numbers after he got hurt.
That's exactly. Mason Graham, he'll be fine, but a lot is expected in year two. He had a good year. Got to get to the quarterback a little bit more here in year number 2. He would tell you that. I think Isaiah McGuire's in a contract year. A lot expected of him. He's the number 2 end. When guys start at defensive end, it's a rotation. If you're the 3rd or 4th or 5th defensive end, you're getting in for meaningful snaps and meaningful reps. Mike Hall, I give him all the credit in the world. He had that scary, he went down a few weeks ago with the knee, and he has battled back. He was out the next day. He's been here every day, and he's been working on the field, and a big credit goes to him as well. So there's a lot of pieces on the defensive line. You mentioned it, they're the engine that's going to make things go here.
Yeah, and they're, as we said with those injuries, they're not fully operational right now. Hall is out there, which is good, but Mason Graham obviously has not been. Malik Collins is here, but still working his way back from that quad injury. And Khalil Davis, the former 49er, more of a space eater stopping the run, has not been out there as well. So when you get to camp and you get all the pieces, you'll get a far better read on the defensive line. As for the linebackers, Quincy Williams and Carson Schlesinger are flying around. They're also having fun. They're very different personalities. Quincy, from the second he walked in the building, he fancies himself the Joker from Batman. He is loud. You always are going to know when he is in the room. Carson isn't necessarily, or wasn't last year, that guy. His play did the talking. It's not that he was quiet at all, but he certainly didn't have the volume that Quincy Williams had. They're out there laughing and joking and dancing. They seemingly have hit it off well.
Yeah, I like what I've seen from that. Quincy's as good as advertised. Yeah. And you got Schlesinger, who's your green dot guy, but I think Quincy Williams could easily be the green dot guy and step in, and you wouldn't miss a beat. I like both those guys. I think the first time you see Justin Jefferson flying out of Alabama, you're kind of like, he's not as big as I thought. But then you think about it, JOK wasn't as big as we thought.
Devin Bush,
they move
not a big guy.
They move the same way, and they're all over the place and flying all over. And I think that's great. And with Jason Tarver, he will have those guys ready. Winston Reed, good to see him back on the field. Buki Watson, good to see him back.
And congratulations on the engagement as well.
Yes, exactly. My two guys I run into when I'm bowling. They're big bowlers. How about that?
Are you a big bowler?
I love to bowl, man. I'm from Cleveland. How do you not bowl?
Okay, but there's a difference in you love to bowl and you just talked about how busy you are. Find time to bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
A little rock and bowl.
Okay.
Man, growing up, like a midnight or 11:30 to 1:30 a.m. Oh yeah, rock and bowl.
Gotta love it.
This is absolutely.
By the way, this is a behind the scenes bit here. Take you bowling.
We could take Reed and Buki Watson. I run into them frequently. But
let's absolutely
good linebackers and of good coaching that makes them great.
Yeah.
And so that's one position I have no concerns about.
Not with the front line guys. You would like to see a little more depth, and Justin Jefferson is certainly will likely be leaned upon on special teams more so than defensively as a rookie. But with the depth, listen, he's going to get his number called plenty when it comes to being out there with the 11 on game day. All right, let's focus on the secondary in a second. For now, however, as mentioned, let's get to the defensive line coach back for another year with the Cleveland Browns, getting ready to head off on vacation, but we grabbed him before he got to Hopkins. Jacques Césaire.
How can an insight in data help us deliver reliable energy to millions? Aramco, an integrated energy and chemicals company.
What's Plink, by the way?
Oh, that's my investment ad.
I hadn't heard of that one, but I'm not a huge trader or anything.
It does the job.
So, Coach, school's officially out for summer.
Yeah, got a coach on.
How you feeling? How's your group? How's your room, more importantly?
The group is fantastic, and the guys have been great. Having the addition of Jared coming in when he has, it just seems seamless. We have leaders in the room like Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire, Mason, Sam, Mike Hall. All these guys came back ready to go. So I like where the group is at right now as far as their execution, how they're working out here, and how they're rushing together.
How is Jared's leadership week 2 compared to week 1 when, look, he came in, he did a presser.
Yeah.
I'd have to think he was swimming. There's a lot to
when you have
process.
He's an elite player, first of all.
Yeah.
And when you have a guy that has done it at a high level at such a young age already, with the Rookie of the Year and the Pro Bowls, and obviously he's played in NFC Championship games his first 2 years. So he came in and we talked about it. I said, hey, you can still be a leader. He said, there's no question about that, coach. Like, I'm coming in here to be a leader. So week 1 and week 2, there was no difference. He came in ready to work and ready to be that leader. He showed by example first, and he has that vocal leadership as well.
How much of a transition is it going to be for him to put his hand down as much as he's going to, compared to the front they played in LA, where he was backpedaling a lot?
Yeah, he told me that he actually prefers to be down in a 3-point stance, and I said that's great. That's the first question I asked him. You like coming out of 2-point or 3-point? And he said, hey, look, I do what I'm told. I do exactly what the coaches want me to do. They wanted me in a 2-point. I prefer a 3-point. There's nothing wrong with that. So we didn't have any issues with that. And when he was at Florida State, he played similar front. So this is like coming home for him.
All right. So you mentioned Florida State. I would have to imagine that he was a player. Obviously, he went 19th overall. That you did some work on before the draft.
Absolutely.
He came out. How has his game developed with 2 Pro Bowls, a defensive Rookie of the Year? Compare him now to the guy that you saw.
The guy at Florida State, he was like a bull in a china shop. He was just coming down the middle of guys and just running guys over,
going through guys.
Yeah, and he still does that. All right, but he's added another element to his rush. He can make the inside move. He can corner. He can burn the edge. He has some other rushes besides just running down the middle of guys and running them over, which I love. I put a premium on violence, and he is a violent guy, but he also has some finesse to his game, and also he knows how to beat the chip. So it's going to be fun and exciting to get the whole group back together.
And violent was a word that he used on the podium that day. I don't know if you saw that. He was asked, hey, how do you describe your game? He said, violent. Yeah. And he said, and angry. He goes, I get angry that you think you can block me.
Oh, yeah. And I love that about him. And the thing is, and with our front, as you know, it's not about what we're teaching, it's how they play. And these guys play with speed, they play with precision, they play with violence, and they love doing it, and they're having fun doing it. So it's been a fun 10 weeks. I can't wait to get back for training camp. I know we got to take 5 weeks off, all right, but I'm going to still be working, and my mind never really shuts off anyway. So let these guys get away, have fun, do their thing, train. But I told them when we get back here, it's go time.
All right, I want to talk, if we could, about a couple of the other young guys on that line. It is a big year for Mike Hall. Certainly, he had that scare a couple of weeks ago. It's great to see him back out here on the field with a sleeve on that right leg. How is his development? What is your message? I'm asking 2 questions at once here, to Mike Hall as we break and take these 5 weeks off, that what you want to see from him when we get here for camp.
Yeah, me and Mike have had several conversations, and he understands, last year he was battling some things, the injuries and things like that. This year, he attacked this offseason like I've never seen before. And he was here all the time. He was working his butt off. He's doing exactly what we asked him to do, and he's really upgraded his just knowledge of the game and how he rushes. So I'm excited to see Mike. His development has been absolutely phenomenal the last 10 weeks. So I'm really excited to see what he does once we get the pads on.
What is year 2 for Mason Graham look like? Know that he's been limited out here. He's got the boot on, but you're smiling. What's year 2? You seem excited.
Yeah. Mason's gonna be dangerous this year. And he was already extremely intelligent, high football IQ guy. A lot of people don't know. He has some violent hands. He has quick and violent hands, and he loves to play the run. But if you really look at the tape, the guy got cheated out about 6 sacks last year.
6.
I mean, that's just me.
It was a thing for a while. We thought Mason had it, and then he didn't.
I told him, start raising your hand up, okay, and just let everybody know, hey, it was me, but he doesn't care. He does not care. He doesn't care about stats or anything like that. He just wants to go play ball at a high level and execute, which I love about him. So another guy that I'm extremely excited about, and I just can't wait to see him get out here.
All right, I'd be remiss if I did not ask about the guy that's no longer in the room, the guy that has now gone to LA. How is your room different without Myles Garrett?
We don't have Myles.
Well, that's the easy way. Yes.
The thing is the way we've built this thing and how everybody's come along. If Myles is not there, which he's not going to be there, right? Myles is gone. However, guys like Alex Wright, Isaiah, Mike Hall, Julian, Mason, Sam, come on. These guys are all leaders. These guys have been playing a lot of ball, and they understood, okay, Myles is gone. We still got to work. We still here to work and go out here and do the best that we can so we can help bring playoffs and hopefully eventually a championship to Cleveland.
I saw a little Alex Wright leadership here. I don't know if he's caught this midway through practice. Casey Concepcion's going down the sideline, plays over. Yeah. Plays over. And Alex came up behind and popped that ball out, and Casey kind of turned around, smiling on his face, like, come on, man. and Alex said, come on. Yeah. He was like, hold on to that ball, Rook. Hold on to that ball, Rook. And then just laughed, running all the way back to the huddle.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. A guy like that,
stay locked in, Casey.
Goes hard all the time, every practice. He's a guy that we have to tell, hey, slow down. and he's always working his craft. He's always doing things right, and he's always running to the ball. And he's been such a leader to all the younger guys, guys on defense and the guys on offense. And he helps out on special teams. So you love guys like that because that's a flag bearer for you, not only in the room but just this organization. And I just can't wait to see what he does as well.
Know some leadership from Lee Collins last night as well. I'm told D-line dinner. Were you there for that?
No. I let the guys go and do their thing. But yeah, Malik is always great in the room. I told you, I've said this before. I always sleep well at night when I have Malik Collins on my defensive line.
And how's he doing physically? No, we don't talk too much about injuries, but he's on the mend.
He is doing great. He is doing great. He is feeling great. And that is a guy that I just can't wait to see what we unleash. Because last year he was having a phenomenal season.
He was the engine that really was moving everything.
He's always been the engine. and I tell him that all the time. Well, he's the piston. Okay, the engine's the defense, but he's a piston. Okay, he gets this thing rolling for us, and that's a guy right there that you got a guy inside with that much twitch, that much power, that much force. That is a true penetrating three technique that knows how to rush. It's a dangerous combination.
All right, you're gonna get a break, I assume. Enjoy your vacation.
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right, take your mind off work if you could.
I'm not gonna take my mind off work.
Right.
However, I am gonna have fun. Can't wait to go see my kids. All right, Viviana, Desmond, Cassius. I love you guys. Can't wait to see y'all. Spend some time with my lady Alicia, and we're gonna be chilling.
All right, that's the way to nail the dismount. That's the way to end the interview. Enjoy your break, man. See you back.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
If you're listening in podcast form and not watching the YouTube, well, then you're not seeing like this My Giant thing going on right now again. But thank you. Oh my God, that made me snort.
And this is from the woman over there.
To pop off on him.
Just earn 5% cash back on that. Also, if I start a conga line, will you join?
Earn 5% cash back at different categories each quarter on up to $1,500 in purchases when you activate.
This almost feels illegal to know if you're a side sleeper. What I've discovered could save you from a massive mistake that's crushing your body while you sleep.
You may not have been able to hear the gleam. There's a gleam, friends, to quote Marty, in Jacques Césaire's eyes when I said, what's Mason Graham year 2 look like? I mean, his face lit up, pointed out that Mason probably could have had 6 more sacks last year if he just like raised his hand and say like, no, that was me. I was there first.
Correct.
But look, if Mason Graham can elevate his game, and the stats don't tell the story, we know that, can elevate his game this year, and year 2 is usually better than year 1, then look out.
I believe the sky's the limit. We saw a lot from Mason Graham. The stat line may not show it, but we saw a lot from him last year. Time to take that next step forward.
Yeah.
And you said it, and Jacques Césaire showed it. There's an excitement there at what that kid can bring to the table. You know, he's being counted on a lot, especially like you're not going to have one player replace Myles Garrett. But if you have a collection of players, well, then you could get there. And he's one of those guys that's going to be counted on big time to step in and fill the void.
Absolutely. Also filling the void, even though he can't.
Look, y'all, and I wasn't going to try to get in here too much. I think the Browns have a great opportunity to look really, really good and shock people. People got to figure out how they want to beat this team. You still got Denzel Ward out there, so your number one option going to have problems. The other dude is good for second options. You got the rookie safety out there. They're going to test him. If he get a couple picks early, I don't know. Rookie of the year.
Not fill his shoes because that would be unfair and unreasonable. Is the man who his nickname is V8. Verse, where's number 8? And
pretty good.
Yeah. For the record, there was a financial agreement with Dylan Gabriel. Jared Verse said that to our Nathan Zagura earlier this week in a streaming broadcast. Go check it out.
And
don't know the details.
No
honestly,
money.
I don't care. But yes, Dylan's now wearing 6. And this guy, although he doesn't have the jersey on in the interview, is wearing number 8. First day of mandatory minicamp is in the books. Jared Verse, how's practice?
It was good. I ain't gonna lie. We got some good work in. Everybody was hustling. Everybody was getting after the ball. And we were making some big plays. Offense was doing their thing. Definitely changing up the count on us a little bit, but they was executing very well. I liked it.
When you did your introductory press conference last week, you said something that stood out to me. You're like,
this seems
like a losing football team. This team's got juice. This team's got energy. That's what I know they want you to bring as well. What's your first impression of the way this team works?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, in the NFL, the margin of error is so small. You can be 2 steps outside of a tackle, and he might take you for 40 yards, and boom, now you're down 7 versus you 2 steps a little bit closer, you make that play. And that's exactly what this football team was last year. Just a small little distance, like differences between good and great was making those plays. And today it was like we were making those plays. I mean, my impression was this isn't going to be a 3-14 last year. It's not going to be that.
5 months.
My bad.
No, it's okay.
5 and 12. It's going to be a lot different. I can tell just by the way people are practicing, the way way people are executing, the way even like, you do a drill wrong, people are calling themselves back. Usually I'm pissed and that calls people out so they get back. That wasn't good enough. People self-facilitating, so I like that.
Well, that's, and having watched Rams practices up close, that's something that Sean McVay and Todd Monk can actually do have in common, and that is they're not afraid to blow the whistle and say, no, do that again.
100%.
Like, reload, let's go again.
100%. I mean, I've seen teams that, and I've heard about teams that, they'll go, they'll mess up, and they'll be like, oh, we're going to get that back later, and they don't go back to it because, it'll slip your mind. Now, we're handling this right now. We're going to get through everything else, but we're going to handle this first, like, fix that error because we can't have that in game. Other teams are going to feast off errors like that.
Joking about how many wins aside, like, I would have to imagine after you say goodbye to everybody in LA, you say goodbye to your teammates. You mentioned, like, Fisk leaves the house. So Braden Fisk, we don't know, your college teammate at Florida State, you were first-round pick, he was a second-round pick. You guys were roommates. He's your boy, he's your best friend. Like, once he left, did you, on the plane, watch Browns tape? Did you do a deep dive? Did you start following guys on IG? Like, how do you go, once you take off and you're on your way here, how do you throw yourself into it?
Yeah, right after having the initial shock, once that wore off and everything like that, Fisk and Byron Young both came to my house. They both, talked to me and everything like that. Then I was like, all right, once they left, I said my goodbyes to them, told them I'll be back soon. We'll get up when I get back. Once I got back on that plane, my parents on the plane were flying out here. My first thought was, all right, how do I handle this? How can I do this like a pro? I've never been traded. I don't know the standard and how to do it. But I'm thinking like I'm going to a new team. I should know my teammates. First person I actually looked up was Carson. I wanted to see how his film was. I know he won D-Roy and everything like that. But I was like, let's see like how he really works and moves, and that boy be flying. Then I looked up Alex Wright and I saw Alex and I was like, this is gonna be a lot of fun.
Go back to Carson because you mentioned him on the podium. Yeah. How important is it for a defensive lineman or a linebacker, whether you're standing up or not, to know that there's a guy behind you? I don't want to say that to clean up your mess.
You're right.
Okay,
I'm not perfect.
But to back you up.
100%, I'm not perfect, and that's not what I'm about here to be. I'm going to make mistakes, but I like to play a freestyle game. I'm not going to play within the scheme 100%. And it's nice to know that I got somebody behind me that if I take that B gap when I'm not supposed to, because I see an op and say maybe it's not an op this time, and I get pinned inside, somebody's going to come outside and clean it up. It's a great feeling. It's a weight off your shoulders knowing he's going to be there.
How do you feel about having your hand down all the time?
I love it. I've never been a big proponent of 2-point stance. We were changing that up in LA, so come here where 2-point stance almost doesn't exist. I like that.
Are you okay still playing in space? Like if they mix it up, you're cool. You'll drop.
I'm a Swiss Army knife. You can put me wherever. It don't matter to me.
Where do you feel most comfortable?
On the edge.
Okay.
Rush.
And if you were to look at the camera, if you were to work against, regardless whether it's Spencer or anyone out there, what would you tell them your best move is?
My best move, it's definitely bull rush. But once you take away the bull rush, I like a stab chop. I like to get in your chest, make you shoot your hands, and just throw your hand down.
Do you have a favorite highlight? Is it Mailata? Is it what's his name with the Jets? Excuse me, the Jets was the Eagles, the guard. Why am I blanking? Why am I blanking on the Jets first round pick from Louisville, who's playing guard? Becton. Yeah. When I put on Jared versus best highlights on YouTube, what's your favorite?
It'd probably be that Eagles, game where I up and under, took Becton's hip, then moved up. I ain't gonna lie, my favorite highlight ever is probably when one of my teammates got a sack. When Fisk got a sack last year, it was his first sack of the season. It was my favorite moment just because I love when my teammates succeed. I just love seeing that type of stuff.
Because that's your boy.
That's my brother.
That's your boy. There's something to be said as well, I think, for the fact that the Rams went out and got a bunch of guys like you that started, and Braden as well, or Byron as well, or even Kobe Turner as well, that didn't start at major FBS programs, didn't start at Power 5 schools. You started at Albany, you built your way up. 100%. He started in the MAC, built his way up. What does it say about you that this now is your next step in the journey to prove yourself again?
Hungry dogs run faster. When you're hungry, you run a lot harder. I still got a lot to prove. I'm still on a rookie deal. D-Boy 2 years ago, Pro Bowl 2 years ago. It's time to make all pros. It's time to switch around the program, bring everybody up. It's time to lead a team to the playoffs and dominate in the playoffs. It's time to do more than what I've done so far.
Are you ready to talk junk to Steelers fans as you did to Eagles fans?
Nah, I did some PR training.
Okay.
I'm lying. They don't even PR train me. Nah, I'm cool with it though. But, I just like to show it now. I like talking to your face now.
But I'll never forget that day where you guys get to Philly and you're roaming around the stadium pregame. Like you're saying, bring it. Like I will back it up. I'm going to go out there. But I'm not going to hide from it. Oh, no, I'm not going to hide in the locker room during warm-ups.
One thing about me, I'm going to stand 10 toes on it. I'm not worried about nobody got on their schedule. I'm just out there working. I'm worried about the next day.
How significant is your leadership to what this building has said it needs you to bring? They told me they want you to be loud, 100%.
Right? They told me just be me. They told me you don't got to be anybody else. You don't got to do this. You don't got to do that. Just be you. Show up, work, speak the way you speak, lead the way you lead, and just be myself. And that's all I'm going to be.
All right, I got two last things for you. Is there anything to take from the idea that you weren't the guy to replace Aaron Donald? Okay. But there's something to be said for the fact that they brought you and Fisk, that entire class, and obviously the group before as well. And they look to you as the guy that could be the alpha dog and to lead the next wave to try to move to the next generation. Do you take anything from that, knowing that this is now kind of your role as well here with Myles gone?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, my thing is I'm never the one-step leader. It takes a whole group. It takes a village. I'm going to tell everybody, hey, this is my standard, and I'm going to fall short of my standard sometimes. I say run to the ball every time. I might not make it all the way to the ball. I need my teammates to pick me up, just like I'm going to do the same for them. It's a group effort. It don't take one person. Not one person can lead a team. There's a whole team. We got 22 on offense, 22 on defense, and we got special teams. One person can't lead everybody. So it takes a village.
All right, last thing. Cleveland. You like Cleveland so far?
I'm messing with it. I like Marble Room.
All right. So you like your steak? How do you eat your steak?
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even have steak. I had the lamb chops.
There you go.
And that was some of the best lamb chops I ever had in my life.
You got a place to live yet? You got everything, like, you ready for training camp? You got to get a vacation? Like, is everything taken care of? You good?
Hey, everything's handled.
All right.
I'm liking it.
Welcome to town. Can't wait to see you in training.
Let's get it.
Thank you. Jared Verse has that intensity. Like I said, he's the alpha leader. You could see, again, he's looking down at me much like you give, but there's like eye contact intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the dude.
I love him.
Fans are going to love him.
I think, yeah. I mean, that's everybody. You said it earlier. Everybody in this building loves him.
And he's been here 10 days.
Yeah, he's gone above and beyond for everybody. And I get it. You want to make a good impression, but a good first impression. But this is a guy that I think he's a genuinely good human. And I think he wants to do well, and he wants to prove his worth here in the NFL and with the Browns. He's done so already in the NFL with the Rams, but time to show it here. And I can't wait to see once we get the pads on here in late July, early August, whatever that time frame is.
I also think it's cool that, listen, he was born in Dayton. He didn't really grow up here, more so Pennsylvania than Ohio, but still has some family here. This is not home, but it is kind of life coming full circle back here for Jared Verse, and I think fans are going to love that about him as well. He's going to be in the community, and he's going to be in the backfield. And those are two very, very, very important things. Let's talk about the defensive backfield. However, Denzel Ward was here, mandatory minicamp. He did media day. He did podium. He smiled for the cameras. He was out there, but he didn't do any team drills. I have no worries about Denzel. He reiterated he wants to be here. Did so last week at a charity softball game, and did so again when speaking to the media here. Tyson Campbell was kind of a man on an island out here. He was he's your other number one corner. If you have two, Denzel and Tyson Campbell, and what a trade that was. But he was kind of the only starting corner out there. Myles Harden as well, certainly not trying to take anything away from Myles, assuming he is starting inside. I think big picture here, the Browns could certainly use another corner. D'Angelo Ross and Trey Avery are both veteran players, solid on special teams, don't want to take away from their game at all when they're out there with the defense. However, I think cornerback depth is key behind those big three we just mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. Denzel, Campbell, and Myles Harden. Solid players, great players, and that's what you need. But we all know in a 17-game schedule, an 18-week season, you got to have at least 5 or 6 corners. Absolutely. I think this is
another coach.
Hickman is restricted free agent tender, so he is good to go on a one-year deal. I'm sure Ronnie would tell you like a long-term deal, but he signed his restricted free agent tender, so that paperwork is done and out of the way. Ephraim Banda spoke before practice on Thursday, passing game coordinator, safeties coach, and kind of laughed that he rarely has a full room out there. Grant Delpit is being held out of practice right now, or is here, is not in practice. Todd Monken said, not talking about injuries. Hopefully we see Grant Delpit back on the field sometime soon. It is notable that Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the rookie third-round pick, has not yet he was out there for rookie minicamp, but he has not been out here for mandatory minicamp. I do think that we got to go back to what Todd Monken said on Tuesday, and then maybe with the exception of Malik Collins, left that door open just a little bit. None of these injuries, Mason Graham included, is thought to be anything serious that will prevent guys from being on the field during training camp. Bonda said today that Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is getting plenty of extra mental reps, extra classroom work, all within the limitations of what you can and cannot do, hours in the building and mandatory minicamp. But you got to get him out here. Like it's one thing to take the mental reps, it's another thing to get him out here. And as he said, make some mistakes. I'm paraphrasing. Make some mistakes and kind of learn while you're there. You think we're going to play a lot of three safeties? He is a key piece to the success of this second.
I love the safety room. And again, with every position on defense, even the corners that we know we need a little more depth on, the position coaches are all back.
Yeah.
They know their rooms as well as anybody. They will have their rooms prepared and ready. And that's no question with Brandon Lynch with the corners, Ephraim Banda with the safeties, Tarver with the linebackers, Cesare with the defensive line. I feel like we're in good shape, and I love our safety room. I think Christopher Edmonds is a solid player, and I really want to see what happens this year. He needs to take a step forward.
I wish
he's been a guy that could make a name for
himself
on special teams and make cutdowns really difficult.
Third year here.
Yeah.
And he has obviously played well in the preseason in the first 2 seasons. Year 3, a big year for anyone who has stuck around this long, not had significant snaps defensively, but certainly a big camp for him coming up. And Donovan McMillan, who you mentioned as well, who made this team last year out of Pitt as an undrafted rookie free agent and did see snaps defensively, especially later in the year, and certainly was out there as a core special teams player every single snap. We haven't really hit on the special teams. Andre Schmidt, Corey Bojorquez, Rex Sunahara. Congratulations to Rex, by the way, on his engagement as well. Everything seems okay with them. We'll figure out returner when we get back.
Right now there were a lot of people out there.
A lot of people out there.
That's right.
All right. Get back. Enjoy some time off if you get any time
You too,
off.
my friends.
Thank you.
We are going to take some time
off.
We'll take some mandated time.
Yeah, and everyone out there, be safe. Enjoy your break. Remember, wear sunscreen, because I forgot to wear sunscreen today. Hence, I'm wearing a hat right now. I also lost my sunglasses.
Hood on. He's a mess.
All right, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to all the information. I would have liked to hear that the rookie has been doing more. McNeil-Warren. I got him potential rookie of the year on defense. The same way I kind of got like Boston and KC. They got a good chance of being rookie of the year on offense. Even Fano, if that run game go crazy and Junkins get about 1,700 yards, go for 2,000. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too crazy, man. Maybe I'm too, I don't know, man. Over and out. Get in the comments, y'all. Browns, let's go. I think we're going to be shocked, but on the good end of the seesaw, for real, because we got players. They spending money. The coach it's going to come down to the coaching and then the scheme.
Welcome to Real McCoy TV, where faith intertwines with daily life, empowering us to inspire positive change. Our mission is not just to share our story, but to uplift our community and celebrate authentic tales of faith and family. Journey with us and witness Cleveland's vibrant sports scene alongside heartwarming church events and cherished family moments, all showcasing our shared values. New content graces your screens every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday evenings, making it easy to engage with us on this enlightening adventure. We invite you to be part of the Real McCoy experience. Whether you wish to call in, join discussions, or collaborate, your voice matters. Plus, support our mission through Cash App, GoFundMe, or Patreon. Together, we create a thriving community of faith and support where every contribution counts.